Hey guys, so I've been posting videos to Flipping Cincy for a while now, mostly of ugly houses we buy with a flip thrown in here and there. And I figured it was time to do an introduction and start adding some other content to this YouTube channel. So I'm going to post at least every Friday, maybe more, but I figured every Friday is a good starting point that I can stick to. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and you'll see my weekly videos, and I'm sure some ugly house videos mixed in as well, because that's always fun. So you'll see those as they're posted. And if you have any specific questions or something you're curious about, feel free to comment, and I'll try to address it in future videos. So today, though, I just wanted to do a little intro. For those who don't know me, I'm Lila Campbell, and my husband is Chris Campbell, and we're the owners of REI Mavens. We've been investing in real estate for over 10 years now in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, and Indianapolis. We are looking to add Florida to that market as well. And we've done hundreds of real estate transactions over those last 10 years. We did over 100 just last year, and we're planning on doing a lot more than that this year. So I just wanted to start adding to this channel to share some of the highs and lows that we've seen in all those transactions, and show what we do with real estate, from flipping it to rentals and just everything we do with whatever property comes our way. And also just to look at some of the problems that come up and to show you that it's not as easy as it looks on the reality shows. It definitely has its highs and lows. So hopefully you can get something out of our story that'll help you in your own journey, whether it's real estate or if you have another business that you're going for, whatever you're doing. I just want to be a resource to hopefully provide some entertainment in our adventures along the way. We have ghosts, raccoons, spiders, lots of entertainment there. So hopefully you'll join us for that. But I've had people reach out to me over the years wanting to know just how we do what we do, how we got started, how they can do the same thing. And there have been a lot of people who don't know me that have thought that either myself or Chris came from money, that we can only do this because we have money. And that's how we were able to do everything we do. And they just think that you need to make money, and to be successful, you need to come from money, and you need to have a supportive background and just have all these advantages in life. And people who do know me know that that could not be further of the truth. That is not my background. And Chris didn't grow up rich. His mom and stepdad worked at the racetrack. He grew up wearing clothes and shoes from Kmart. I always hear about his Kmart shoes. And he always tells me about how he used to eat government cheese. And I don't know what government cheese is, but it sounds really gross. He seems to like it, though. He misses the government cheese. But his mom thought it was a horrible idea for him to get into real estate. She thought it was too risky, and she just didn't want him to do it. And she discouraged him for years from getting into real estate. I think she changed her mind about his goals these last few years, especially when we surprised her with a car one day. She's coming around. She's finally seeing the benefits of real estate. And then I also didn't come from money. I grew up in Albuquerque. My parents were artists. Definitely not the rich, luxurious artists either. No rich background, no inheritance, nothing there. And we sometimes lived in decent houses, and other times we lived in a crappy motel, or at one point we lived in an RV with no plumbing or electric in somebody's yard. And my dad died when I was 12, and then my mom, when I was 17, moved across the country. And so my whole senior year, I lived on my own and just really struggled to just get through my senior year and graduate, and then struggled after that. And when we started REI Mavens, we were both going to school, working regular, just not great jobs. And we just started buying, well, for about a year, we'd been buying the contents of storage units at those storage auctions like Storage Wars and selling them at the flea market and online. And our now 14-year-old was like 4. And we were living paycheck to paycheck, thinking we were going to graduate college and we'd be making decent money. I was getting a degree in elementary education, and I was really excited because I was going to be making $40,000 a year after I graduated, and life was going to be great at $40,000 a year. So Luckily, I've come a long way since then. But Chris was a poli-sci major, and he always wanted to do real estate. He tells everyone how he would listen to the Carlton Sheets tapes when he was a teenager, where you can get these houses for pennies on the dollar. And he had this idea in his head since then. And he didn't know how to get started. So he thought, I'm going to be a realtor. And he was a realtor for 18 months, starting in 2009, which, if you know anything about real estate, that was the absolute worst time ever to be a realtor. That was the housing crash. And he never sold a house ever, not one in that 18 months. But luckily, it turns out he just sucks at that side of real estate. He can't do the whole, let me show you a million houses and sell you one. He was not good at that. But he did give it another try. In 2012, he decided to take another shot, and he started working under a guy who does pretty much what we do now. The first deal he did with this guy, his cut was $1,400, and we were really excited, and we thought it was so much money. But we saw the potential in it, and he was on a roll. So he quit his job, his regular job at that time, and he just started hustling and trying to make it work. He put on his headset, and he just start making phone call after phone call after phone call, trying to make deals happen. And it turns out the guy he was working for he was a pretty unethical guy. I won't say names or details, but they parted ways, luckily. And Chris decided to go out on his own and try it on his own. So he closed his first deal on his own that December 2012, and he made $10,000. And from there, he just kept going. And not to say it was like easy or anything, or we didn't have our lows after that. We definitely did. And I eventually graduated, but I couldn't get a teaching job. That's when there were too many teachers out there. So instead, I got my real estate license, and I finally got a teaching job in 2015 and realized I hate teaching. I hate it so much. And I actually love teaching, but I can't stand all the BS that goes along with it, which unfortunately is most of the job. So it kept sucking me back in because I do love it. But this past December, I finally quit for good. I joined Chris full time. He needed my badassedness on his team to keep him in line, keep squatters in line, keep all of the things in line. And so I came on full time. I'm still a realtor. I really just use it to run comps and list our deals on the MLS. I also am not good at that side of things. That's just a quick rundown of our background. And I think that part of our background is really important because there's so many people who think that you need to come from money to be successful. So they just settle for average. It doesn't matter where you came from. It really doesn't matter. Your background, your childhood, who you were last week even. I don't care. I'm not saying it's easy, but it doesn't matter where you came from. And I've had people want to know how they can get started at what we do because they need money now. And it doesn't work like that either. So I could be like one of those gurus who says, oh, give me $10,000, take this course, and you'll be a millionaire next week. It does not work like that. But you also do not need to have come from money to make something out of your real estate career. So hopefully you will follow me next week. I want to start getting into just some tips and tricks and experiences that we've gone through. Just make sure you subscribe. You'll see that next week. And hopefully I can give you some kind of helpful advice that will help you in your own career.